Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss the topic that is developing use cases. Let us start with the first topic that is developing use cases. In the software, or we can say the systems engineering, a use case is a list of actions or event steps, typically defining the interaction between a role that we can say an actor and a system to achieve a goal. The actor can be a human, or we can say an external system or a time. In systems engineering, use cases are used at a higher level than within software engineering, often representing missions or stakeholders' goals. Another way to look at it is a use case describes a way in which a real world actor interacts with the system. In system use case, you include high level implementation decisions. System use cases can be written in both an informal manner and a formal manner. In the year 1987, the scientist Ever Jacobson presents the first article on use cases at the Uppsala 87th conference. Then, in the year 1992, he is a co-authors the book that is the Object-Oriented Software Engineering, a use case-driven approach, which laid the foundation of the OOS, that is the Object-Oriented Software Engineering, system engineering method, and helped to popularize use cases for capturing functional requirements, especially in software development. In the year 1994, he publishes a book about use cases and object oriented techniques applied to the business models and business process re-engineering. At the same time, the scientists that is the Grady Booch and the James Ramborg work at unifying their object oriented analysis and design methods. The Booch method and the object modeling technique, respectively. In the year 1995, Ever Jacobson joined them and together they create the language that is the UML, Unified Modeling Language, which includes use case modeling. UML is standardized by the Object Management Group, that is OMG. In the year 1997, Jacobson, Booch, and the Ramborg also work on a redefinement of the object software development process. So it's a very big refinement of the object software development process. The resulting UML or the unified process is published in the year 1999 and promotes a use case driven approach. In the year 2011, Jacobson published with Lan Spence and Kurt Bittner the ebook Use Case 2.0 to adapt the technique to an agile context, enriching it with incremental use case, that is the slices, and promoting its use across the full development life cycle. So this use cases, it is used basically for the defining the required user interaction. Also, it summarizes some of the relationships between use cases, actors, and systems. Also, it describes the different types of users of a system and the various ways that they interact with the system. Now, uh, let us start with the use cases. So, a collection of user scenarios that describe the threat of usage of a system, and each scenario is described from the point of view of an actor. Actor, it's a person or a device that interacts with the software in some way. In their simplest form, a use case identifies the actors involved in an interaction and names the type of interaction. This is then supplemented by additional information, maybe an textual description or one or more graphical models such as UML sequence or a state charts describing the interaction with the system. Use cases are documented using a high level use case diagram. The set of use cases represents all of the possible interaction that will be described in the system's requirements. So we can say the use case diagrams are drawn to capture the functional requirement of a system. Also, the use case diagrams are used to gather the requirements of a system, including internal and the external influences. Each scenario in the use cases answers the following questions. So, the first thing that is who is the primary actor and who is the secondary actor. Then the second uh, questions arises, that is what the actors goals. So with the help of use case diagram we can get the goals of actors. Then the third question arises, that is what preconditions should exist before the story begins. So it's also one kind of answer that we'll get from the use case diagram. Then the next scenario answers what main tasks or functions are performed by the actor. Then what extensions might be considered as the story is described. Then the next question, that is what variations in the actor's interaction are possible. What system information will the actor acquire, produce or change. Then the next question, that is will the actor have to inform the system about changes in the external environment. Then what information does the actor desire from the system. Does the actor wish to be informed about unexpected changes? Also, a scenario that describes a threat of usage for a system. Actors represent roles, people or devices play as the system functions. Users can play a number of different roles for a given scenario. So all these are the different questions that arises. Let's have a look at the basic use case diagram symbols and notations. So the first one, that is the actor. Actors are the users of the system. When one system is the actor of another system, label the actor system with the actor stereotype. Then the second one, that is the use case. Before moving to the use case, I just want to tell you the functionality, or we can say the description related to the actor. That is, an actor models a type of role played by an entity that interacts with the subject but which is external to the subject. Actors may represent roles played by human users or external hardware or other subjects. Then The second one, that is the use case. Draw use cases using ovals. Label the ovals with verbs that represent the system's functions. Hence, a use case is a specification of a set of actions performed by a software system which yields an observable results that is typically of value for one or more actors or other stakeholders of the system. Then the third one, that is systems boundary. um, Draw your system's boundaries using a rectangle that contains use cases. Place actors outside the system's boundaries. So, if a subject or a system boundary is displayed, the use case ellipse is usually located inside the system boundary rectangle. Then the next one, that is a relationship. So we can say relationships between an actor and a use case with a simple line, that is the association. And association simplifies a semantic relationship that can occur between typed instances. It has at least two ends represented by properties, each of which is connected to the type of the end. More than one end of the association may have the same types. Then the next one, that is very important in the use case diagram. For example, we can say for relationships among use cases, use arrows labeled either uses or extends. A uses relationship indicates that one use case is needed by another in order to perform a task. We can say that is the include. Then the second one, that is extends relationship. It indicates alternative option under a certain use case. So these both are the very important relationships that are basically used in the use cases. So we can say the include, it is a directed relationship between two use cases, implying that the behavior of the included use case is inserted into the behavior of including use case. And the second one, that is the extent, it is the relationship specifies that the behavior of a use case may be extended by the behavior of another use case, usually the supplementary. The extension takes place at one or more specific extension points defined in the extended use case. So all these are the basic use case diagram symbol. We can say the remaining are like a note, then dependency, then we can show some collaboration and the constraints. All those are the different types of symbols that we can use in the use case diagram. But these all are the basic use case diagram symbols. So this is the structure of use case diagram. You can see this one is the actor, then this one is the use case where you can show the functionality, then this box is called as the system boundary. This is an example of use case diagram of parking management system. Here the driver and the admin both are the different actors. So driver can do the registration, then login. So both these are the different functionalities. that we shown in the use cases. Then the driver can request for booking the parking. After that, admin can approve that request or grant that request if a slot is available. Here you can show the include also for check parking slot. Then the next one, that is the payment process. So admin can generate the bill, or we can say generate the payment. After that, driver should pay that particular amount. So that's why this is the association between that actor and use case, that is the payment. And driver can get print receipt of that parking ticket. So all these are the different use cases, and actors, those are separated using the system boundary. So it's a very informative use case diagram. Let us see one example of use case diagram. Use cases identify the individual interaction between the system and its users or another system. Each use case should be documented with a textual description. These can then be linked to other models in the UML that will develop the scenario in more detail. So here is a very simple example of patient information system. A brief description of a setup consultation use case from this diagram might be a setup consultation that allows two or more doctors working in different offices to view the same record at the same time. So here you can see this doctor is the just a minute. So you can see this doctor is the actor in this use case. Okay, so in different offices that doctor is working to view the same record at the same time. One doctor initiates the consultation by choosing the people involved from a drop down menu of doctors who are online. And the patient record. So the record of the patient is then displayed on their screens, but only the initiating doctor can edit the record. In addition, a text care window is created to help coordinate actions. So it is assumed that a phone conference for voice communication will be separately set up. Scenarios and use cases are effective techniques for eliciting the requirements from the stakeholders who interact directly with the system. With the help of this diagram, you can see the main important factors or main important information that you can get from the use case diagram. So here the medical receptionist, the nurse, manager and the doctor, all these are the different actors. Then this is the system boundary that we can show it in the form of box. Then these all are the different use cases. So medical receptionist can register patient, then he or she can view personal information. Similarly, manager can also view the personal information. Then the next one is very important, doctor can view the record of the patient, or doctor can update that record if some we can say a treatment is changed or updated, that time that doctor can update the record of the patient. Then set up consultation, that also again done by a doctor. That's why we shown here association between the use case and the doctor, means in the actor. Then again the nurse, that is one more actor. A nurse can view the record of the patient, and nurse can update the record. So these all are the different use cases, and all are the different actors that are separated using the system boundary. So this is a very simple use case diagram. Thank you.